Nestled in the scenic Ozark Mountain region of southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas is an outdoor enthusiast paradise, Bull Shoals Lake. The project totals more than 104,000 acres with over 56,000 acres of land and 48,000 acres of water. There are 821 miles of shoreline around Bull Shoals Lake. The Army Corps of Engineers began constructing Bull Shoals Dam in 1947 to reduce downstream flooding along the White River. The dam was complete in 1951 and dedicated by President Truman in 1952. The powerhouse and switchyard, which provide clean, renewable electricity, were completed in 1953. Parks were developed in the late 1950s and early 1960s. The lake is best known for being one of the nation's finest fishing and boating destinations. The White River tailwaters of Bull Shoals Lake is home to one of America's premier trout streams, famous for producing record-breaking rainbow and brown trout. There are 22 public use areas around the lake. 12 parks are presently managed by the Corps of Engineers. 10 are operated by lease agreements with concessionaires, city and county governments, and the state of Arkansas. The Corps uses the Masterplan for guidance on how to best manage the lake's resources. It is the strategic document that guides the comprehensive management and development of recreational, natural, and cultural resources. The Masterplan is not intended to address the specifics of regional water quality, shoreline management, or water level management, but merely provide a vision for how the lake should look in the future. The last revision of Bull Shoals Master Plan was completed in 1975. Since then, the needs have changed and resource demands have increased. It is vital for the future of Bull Shoals Lake that the Corps once again revise the Master Plan and evaluate the increasing demands versus what the old Master Plan allows. No single agency has complete oversight of the lake, and no two visitors share the same vision of how the lake should look in 20 years. But we believe all have its best interest in mind. We want your input. In the near future, the Corps intends to hold several scoping workshops. This is your opportunity to let us know how you would like the lake to be managed in the future and to provide your input to the Master Plan vision for the future land use of Bull Shoals Lake. So let's go through the land classifications and what they mean. We have 5 major land classifications: project operations, high-density recreation, mitigation, environmentally sensitive, and multiple resource management lands. Project operation lands are used solely for the operation of the lake. This includes areas required for the dam, spillway, switchyard, offices, and maintenance facilities. High-density recreation lands are currently planned or could be developed in the future for high-use recreational areas for the visiting public. This may include day-use areas and/or campgrounds, as well as areas for commercial businesses on project lands such as fuel service and boat rentals. Mitigation land was acquired specifically for the purposes of offsetting losses associated with development of the project area. There are currently no lands classified as mitigation lands. Environmentally sensitive area lands are where scientific, ecological, cultural, or aesthetic features have been identified and must not be negatively impacted. Uses such as agricultural, grazing, or mowing activities that may impact natural resources are not allowed on these lands. The multiple resource management classification allows for a particular use, but has the potential for other uses on these lands. These are broken down to include the following. Low-density recreation includes lands with little development that could support passive public use like primitive camping, fishing, hunting, trails, wildlife viewing, shoreline use permits, and more. In the Shoreline Management Plan, this area could include zoning for limited development areas like resort docks, boat docks, and other shoreline uses. Management programs to improve forest, range, and wildlife are allowed in this land classification. Vegetative management land provides stewardship of forest, prairie, and other native vegetative cover to act as filter between the land and the lake. This land classification is not currently used. Future or inactive recreation areas have potential for future recreational development or are areas that are closed. Until there is an opportunity to develop or reopen these areas, they will be managed for multiple resources. We've also added a water surface classification to help address safety concerns on the lake. Restricted surface waters are for project operations, safety, and security purposes, such as near Bull Shoals Dam and designated swimming areas. Designated no-wake areas protect environmentally sensitive shorelines, recreational water access from disturbance, and for public safety. These are found near marinas and boat launching ramps. Fish and wildlife sanctuary areas are where annual or seasonal restrictions are in place to protect fish and wildlife species during migration, resting, feeding, nesting, and/or spawning. This water use classification is not currently used. Open recreation areas are waters available for year-round or seasonal water-based recreation. This water use classification is not currently used. In addition to land and water classifications, easements on lands around the lake are very important. Easements were acquired for specific purposes and do not convey the same rights or ownership to the Corps as other lands. Operations easement. We retain rights to these lands necessary for project operations. This water use classification is not currently used. Flowage easement. We retain the right to inundate these lands for project operations, such as a high water event. Conservation easement. We retain the rights to lands for aesthetic, recreation, and environmental benefits. This water use classification is not currently used.
As the Little Rock District looks to revise the Bull Shoals Masterplan, we want to hear from the people who use our lake. To help you understand the issues, we'll hold a number of public workshops. I encourage you to read the materials available, attend one of the workshops, ask questions, and of course make comments. We encourage all of you to be a part of this process and to help us to complete the revision. We will hold public workshops towards the end of August. You can find the exact dates, times, and locations on the Bull Shoals Masterplan website. At these meetings, we will outline the process for submitting input for the Bull Shoals Masterplan revision. We would like to hear from you by the 30th of September so the team can review and process all of your input. Thank you for your involvement. The revision process is important to all of us for the future of Bull Shoals Lake.